up, guys? Great morning, great morning, great morning to you listening in the car at 102.5 FM. Great morning to you that are tapped in through our free KMAZ app. And great morning to you that are listening on our website at www.amazing1025fm.org. I'm Amanda Sapp here at Amazing 102.5 FM, your do-good, through-good station where we're changing lives one listener at a time. I am always so excited to bring you amazing guests doing amazing things in amazing ways. I can't wait to share with you who I have in the studio with me today. In fact, I've known the two of them for quite some time. So it is an actual honor to have both of you here in the studio with me today, live and in the flesh. Let me share with our audience here what we're talking about. This place is a fine art gallery focused on advancing environmental art by promoting the use of recycled materials in art and design. Founded by environmental artist Charles Washington and master educator artist Gail Mebane. Am I saying her last name right? Mabani. The gallery hosts individual artist shows, groups, shows, classes, and special events. The person that I have here today, she is the general manager for Harambee Art Gallery and a licensed vocational nurse in managed care. She's also a multidisciplinary artist who aims to be expressive using all five senses. Her subgenre can be considered as visual art through education, music, fashion, and food. Mr. Charles Washington, you are the Renaissance man, and you are the founder of the Harambee Art Gallery. It's so exciting to have you here in the studio with us today. And if you could, for someone who is just hearing about you for the very first time, tell us just a little bit more about you.
Before I start, I really want to thank you for having me here, but also I'm very proud of you as a person, but also for your success in Sky's the Limit.
Thank you. Let me tell you something. You guys, the both of you sitting here, are one of those people who just let me come help y'all. Just let me come here. I'm like, these people really let me up in here today. This years ago, I didn't know anything about a radio at this time. Like, it wasn't even in my thought process. I was just stepping into the entertainment industry. I think even then I was wearing a wig at the time. I was trying to find myself, y'all. Forgive me. And I just want to thank the both of you and my friend Gail. She's not in here today. However, but you guys, when people are trying to maneuver in the space and entertainment, whether however through the arts, you need people who will say, "Come on in. We got you. We'll let you."
Well, it was not just like that. We saw something in you.
Thank you.
It wasn't just that, you had a drive.
Thanks.
And when you have a drive, you're going to come to the top regardless. We're at that moment, we were happy to be able to have you part of what we're doing. You were already doing things, and we saw it.
Thank you.
That's what it was.
I really appreciate that. Mr. Washington, don't have me up in here all emotional already. I got to get this interview going. Okay. Now, you've got Kenisha Coleman in here, who is, she's a nurse, she's an educator and an advocate of the Black culture. Now, you guys are moving the Harambee Art Gallery forward. Tell us how you're doing that.
Well, number one, general manager, I call her Ken, she really plays a very important role, with the Harambee Art Gallery. She started out saying, well, I'll just become part-time. Now she's a general
making
manager.
phone calls, to be exact, is what I was told.
All I want to do is make phone calls. Now, I feel comfortable where I'm at, with the Harambee Art Gallery and where it's going, because of Miss Ken or Kenisha Coleman.
Love that.
Thank you.
Now, Kenisha, has it always been peaches and cream working with the Harambee Art Gallery?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Because, as working with the artists, we're always creating. So, creating, it's always like, there's so many inspirations that may be from way back when or that may come up impromptu that you have to be able to adjust. And thankfully, I am skilled to be able to pivot and adjust. It's fun to me. So that's what working with Mr. Washington, Miss Gail, and the Harambee Art Gallery has provided me, that vehicle to be creative and figure things out.
Now, I just want to touch on this really, really quickly. I had Antonio Vizcarrando here in the studio, and we talked about COVID and some of the things that had to stop because of it. As it relates to the art, Mr. Washington, tell me a little bit about the struggle during that time, and because I feel like you guys never missed a beat. But tell me a little bit about how you were still able to maneuver through COVID, through some of the challenges that we all have faced within the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, first of all, it made you get into solitude to make you really think. And the first opening project that we thought about was reconnect. To reconnect not only with ourselves, but with the community, but internationally. And that was our first opening. And that really rolled into going to Africa twice, and then really learning more about myself and the culture. But out of that whole 2 years of COVID, it made me understand we really need to reconnect with everyone that's in part of our diaspora, so it's reconnecting.
Yeah, we were able to do that because we tapped into the technology, with having to be in solitude, like Mr. Washington said. We had to say, okay, so how do we connect now? What can we still do to, show the art, to educate, to communicate? So a lot of the programs that we either had to stop or we took it virtually. And so that's what we did. We took it, we made it online, an online experience, basically. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
What did you find out about yourself, Kenisha, during that time frame when you were trying to innovate through art?
I found out that I don't think it's more that something new that I learned. It was just a more of like, okay, you got to tighten up. I had to be more disciplined. So I found out that I can still push myself even when things are uncertain. So I just found that inner strength to just tighten up, and go harder. So that's what I did. It like Mr. Washington said, being in solitude, it does allow you the time to reflect. So I just learned who I was more of, in that moment, to be able to show myself more, to stretch myself more. So
This is good. Now, Mr. Washington, you've got Color of Sound. Color of Sound. What is that?
Color of Sound is it's just putting something together that was part of me, since I came into Houston, and it's having a great relationship with musicians, and being able to pay homage to the musicians, because that was one of the vehicles for me to be able to create my artwork. As you know, a lot of my pieces are done with musicians, in color. And I met Bubba Thomas, Comrade Johnson, all of the renowned artists, and to be able to, and Jewel Brown, which is, she's still here,
She performed
love
at one
Miss
of y'all's
Jewel.
events, right?
Several.
At the hall or something. I
yes,
feel like I remember.
yes, that's right. We did. What was that? That
a
was
long time ago.
Joe Sample.
Yes,
Joe Sample.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
We played on. We also.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, with Joe Sample. So, in saying all those things, that to pay an homage to people I knew over 30 years, and I was creating colors and things from the vibrations and energy, that was put in place. So this was a great opportunity to be able to reconnect in that form. Color, and color and sound is so important because we need that, to be able to take all of us to another level. Plus, it's definitely a way to open up the culture, and also to give people a better understanding of how to be able to deal with themselves. So,
How can art help them deal with themselves?
well, you've got art therapy, but also colors affect a person's emotion, and also the music does the same thing. And when you understand those things, you want to be around energy that's good for you, and also colors also. And it gives people a broader perspective on who they are and the people around them.
Now, Color Pop at HTV. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, see, this is one of the things that we always were looking at. Harmonious Art Gallery is not just a gallery, it's a concept along with that. We have locations around the city, to be able to establish different platforms so everyone has an opportunity. And the HTV, we're in there going on 10 years.
I
It's been
never
10
knew
years.
that.
Yeah.
Like
10
y'all are
years.
in that building, and y'all been there for 10 years.
Yeah, we're in City Hall.
Yeah,
and
that yes,
City-
yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that to be able to educate people about the importance of knowing there's a gallery in there, and it's a diverse gallery, and it's an international gallery at this point also. And one of our goals is being able to create different wings. We have one wing, for a gentleman. His name is Eugene Foney, passed during COVID, and he was into the arts. He was in the community. When I traveled and did my shows, wherever I went, I saw Eugene Foney. He's a good friend of mine. And also Miss Arsenault with AXO. She was with young people performing and things in that form. So my goal was to be able to create a wing for both individuals, because that was important. And we have a youth wing, so we can actually get more young people to be able to have the work displayed, but also get the experience of knowing what it's like to be able to be in a gallery, and to be educated by artists, and be mentored. So pop is actually introducing a variety of musicians and also introducing the wings that I just spoke of.
What is a misconception new artists have as it relates to going into being an artist? What type of artist are you? What type of art do you create, Mr. Washington? What are some misconceptions that younger artists or emerging artists have about going into this space?
Well, a lot of people don't understand the process. To become an artist is you just don't. You have to learn the process and be determined to have a structure that you want to work on. If you're just working with points and spaces, that's fine. You can just focus on that. But you have to be dedicated to your craft and to create a style. Those are things that a lot of the young artists are missing. They're going more towards technology opposed to actually going to the physical and mental experience of it.
What if they're like, I want to make money? What about that part of it? Isn't that important?
Well, it's not there's a way how to make money.
It's how we do it.
Right, and you want to be able to create, when you make money, other people's making money. So you put yourself in the center of that, so you have a core, but you have consistent money around you to be able to help you where you can actually work on your pieces of work. I was not taught that, but I'm in a position to teach others that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And being
That's
authentic too. I think,
Yes.
artists is, of course you want to do what's popular, but I feel like artists, young artists or whoever, just need to be authentic to themselves, because things will happen, more authentically to get you where you need to be.
Now, Mr. Washington, speaking of authentic and doing your own thing, I saw, I've seen your doors pieces, because you do like the big doors.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen those pieces everywhere. Now I kind of see them more with a lot of different artists too. What do you think about people who copy your work? Is that a thing? Is that a good question?
Well,
is it only your work alone? I mean, like, cause you're the first person I seen with it, but
the thing about that is that it's a compliment, but they can never be a Charles Washington.
you better tell them.
I mean, they can do as much as they want, but they will never be a Charles Washington because the concept goes beyond just painting a door. It's a portal to life. It's got more significance to it than someone just painting a door. And also, I'm an environmental artist, so there's all these different statements that I created to teach others. So I feel flattered, because if one person just take one little thing out, well, I like the door because of this, that's fine. And if an artist, I'm impressed because I want to go this direction with the doors, that's fine. It's okay.
And I think the other thing too, to add to that, Mr. Washington tells stories with his doors. He makes statements with his doors. It's usually representative of the movement, with his doors. So I think some of the other artists, and I don't really know them, I just kind of see them there. But
saying I know I've seen
right, but it may just be a picture, whereas we got storytelling over here.
And also interactive, because the doors are written. I mean, we have doors right now that have Al Jarreau on it. All these well-known people, or just people that just are artists that or individuals that they write the date and time and the experience on that door. They're part of it. 10 years later, they'll know exactly where they put that information.
Tell me about the Harambee International Exchange Program. I think you mentioned a little bit about an international placement, but tell me about the International Exchange Program here for the Art Gallery.
One, I'm actually part of it's called the Sister City of Luanda. The Sister Cities of Houston basically is very important, and I'm a member of a Sister City of Luanda, and I got an opportunity to be able to be part of an exchange art program. And I went not just once but twice, and I was impressed, and got an opportunity to be able to work with the UN and a major organization in Luanda, and I feel hopefully we'll be able to talk to him personally. But in doing that, we want to be able to bring artists and musicians from Luanda and bring them to Houston, and then do the exchange process. I was there at a International Jazz Festival. We want to be able to bring that to Houston. And this project that we're working on right now is just the beginning of it. But in order to get people involved, you have to educate them about the process. That's so important.
We were talking earlier about emerging artists or people who are just trying to tap into it. Can you remember your first big break with your art? And what was it?
Well, I think when I say first big break, it was actually it's called The Blanket. You know, The Blanket was a piece that I did when I was in a homeless situation, and it was over like going on over 40 years ago. But I had this piece shown at a little shop, and a lady that worked at Channel 2 came in and saw the piece, and the next couple of days, you know, how news and how current things happen, that's when they had a flex of homelessness. And they said I was the prototype of what it was, but I was also the prototype of someone that's moving themselves out of it. You know, and doing all those things. At the time, there was a person that wanted to become a mayor. He invited me over to his location, you know, his home, and I met a lot of people, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how it works and how art is powerful, but also how art can be used for you and against you, you know. So it really gave me a professional look at art, because I at one time was very naive on how art works.
How can art be used against you?
Well, for example, the homeless piece is a great piece, but to be able to be put on air just because of a homeless piece and don't see the rest of my work, that's, to me, I'm more than just that. That's why I'm saying it hurts, because people, the first thing they'll think about, oh yeah, that homeless piece. My work's all over the world. Beyond that, you know, so those are things when I say it hurts, because it doesn't let you understand he's more than that. And when you talk about a Renaissance man, that person's more than that. That's why I make that statement about being the Renaissance man.
I love it. We've got Charles Washington, who is one of the owners of the Harambee Art Gallery, and we have Kenisha Coleman. She's the general manager of the Harambee. Am I saying it's Harambee? Harambee Art Gallery. Guys, we do have to wrap this interview up. We'd like to leave fans, followers, listeners, and supporters with something inspiring, something empowering, something they could take with them the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and all the way up to the weekend. Kenisha, what do you want to leave us with today?
I would say always give yourself grace and be thankful.
How do we find you?
You can find me at I'm on all social media platforms at Kenisha Coleman, or Queen. That's Queen with a KW. I don't know if a lot of people know it's for Kenisha Waynette. My middle name is Waynette, but Queen, KWEEN, Kenisha at Instagram. We're also Harambee Art Gallery on all platforms.
Charles Washington,
The
what
word
are you
is
going to leave us with today?
empathy. That word is very important, especially at this time. That word is very, very important. Empathy.
How do we find you?
Charles Washington at, what's that?
Artist Charles Washington. I got you.
I'm just a
What are you
painter and
pulling out
artist.
here?
I'm pulling out. I'm going to leave with you
yes.
some VIP tickets to the show for tomorrow.
Okay.
So we are going to be at the Power Center tomorrow from 6 to 9:30.
Yes, yes.
We have some fabulous, talented artists that are going to be there tomorrow, as well as some vendors that'll show, you know, all the things that they will bring to the table. But we're going to give you some VIP tickets to, you know, give to your guests.
I was just going to ask, do we want to, my team
I
back
actually
there?
have a package. I have a package especially for her.
Okay, we got one especially for
I got
you.
you.
Okay. I was wondering if we should give
Yeah.
one away for our listener on our
Yes.
comment.
You can do whatever
We
you
can?
want. This
Okay.
This is your show.
We got a pair. A couple
Listen,
pairs.
guys,
Yeah,
for the
here you
first person that comments, I want Harambee. The first person to comment, I want Harambee, will get a ticket. Is it one ticket or two? We got,
The first person will give you two tickets to the Color of Sound.
2 tickets to the Color of Sound, and it's event happening this weekend. The first person to comment, I want Harambee, will get these tickets to the event, guys. Look, I've got it in my hand right here. You got to go on our social media. The first person to comment on our social media, I want Harambee, will win these tickets, and I'll share with you guys who that is. But I have the tickets right here, so
Awesome.
And what I'll add to that, when you get the tickets, bring it directly to me, and I will put my autograph on it and thank them personally.
you heard it first here on the Amanda Sapp Morning Show. Kenisha, Mr. Charles Washington, again, I just want to thank you publicly for your support for me and how I moved in the industry, and just really just taking me under your wings and welcoming me into the art space, like, period. You were the first people to
Wow.
introduce me to art in Houston. So thank you.
It's all about
Seriously.
love.
Yeah.
man.
Thank you
You're
so
the
much.
best. Come on now. Come on.
It's been a pleasure. We've become family, so it's
Truly.
right. So it's a pleasure
calls
to
would
see
come,
you,
would come.
grow and do the things and bring
Yeah.
us on here. Like it's an absolute
It's a
pleasure.
beautiful thing.
Love it. Hey guys, look, stay tapped in, stay tuned in, stay amazing. We'll be back.